Milwaukee's Jeff Van Gundy back here on the Rich Eisen Show. Thanks for calling in, Jeff. Appreciate it.
No problem.
You bet. So Tyronn Lue said after the game that the Warriors are the best team he's ever seen. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I didn't hear the quote. I didn't know if it was a straightforward quote, one that was laced with some sarcasm.
I don't think so, Jeff. It didn't sound like it. He basically said that they were the best he's ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's hard to compare. This is certainly a great team in a great run here for the Warriors over this last 3 years. And I certainly think they have the makings of a dynasty. Greatest team ever. It's hard to bet against some of those other teams. The Jabbar-led Showtime Lakers, Jordan Bulls, etc. But certainly it's a great, great team.
Well, certainly we also got an answer just in one game. It is just one game. As to how much of a difference maker Durant could be between last year's competition and this year's. What in the world can the Cavs do to stop what Kevin Durant did in Game 1 from happening again?
Well, I think this notion that it's an impossible task, it puts you in, if you're of that mindset and you're on the Cleveland side, you've got the wrong mindset. Mm-hmm. We can stop him from getting 6 dunks and a half and uncontested layups in transition and drives without any repercussions or physical force at the rim. Some of the jump shots he makes, those you can't do anything about. He's so talented and so good, but you can do something about the layups and the dunks, and you better get in the mindset that it was us and not how great they were if you're a Cleveland Cavalier. And then you've got to take care of the ball, and you've got to rebound with ferocity. They had too many guys have very little impact on the game last night. Durant was great. Curry was great. But I think Golden State, frankly, can play a lot better as well. I think they missed a ton of layups that they could have put in the basket. So their field goal percentage shooting, I think, was depressed, not by anything Cleveland did defensively, but by their own misses. And so Cleveland's going to have to be a lot better.
So it's not just the uncontested shots, too, and dunks, Jeff. It's stopping the ball when Durant's leading the break, or Curry spotting up for 3 because Durant is finding him. He seems to be unguardable in transition and sometimes even in the half court. What do you think can be devised to stop that?
Well, obviously your best defense is a good offense. And by that, you have to limit your turnovers if you're Cleveland to give them less transition opportunities. You've got to shoot the ball better so that they're taking it out of the basket and having to inbound it versus rebound and bust out, which we saw last night. And you got to get to the free throw line like James did early to slow the pace down. I also think Cleveland has to be a little less frenetic in their half-court game offensively because when the Warriors come at you and they have a numbers advantage, it's extremely hard to deal with. But I think Cleveland, once they get their numbers even, and it's a 5-on-5 game, they have to resist the temptation to overly react to the three-point line. You can't take away everything from a great team and a great player. But if you don't take away layups and dunks, you have no chance against any team. The three-point shot may beat you, but it can't be you give a team everything. And last night, frankly, Golden State got everything. They got layups, they got threes, and they got anything in between. And so Cleveland's going to have to take away the paint.
Jeff Van Gundy joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. And then it was just, no points from Korver or Darren Williams. I mean, in 39 minutes of combined action. So I guess you could say, Tyronn Lue can just say, well, that was as bad as it can get. And do you throw the tape out? Do you show the tape to your team? What do you do in the interim between games 1 and 2 if you're a coach of a team that just got blown out like that, Jeff?
I think it depends on your team. I think Ty Lue has a great pulse on his team, what they need. Some teams would need to go through the pain and torture of watching it all. Other teams maybe just a little bit, and some maybe not at all. I think you don't really know a team until you coach a team. Same with individual players. I would suspect they'll watch a lot of it, particularly when it comes to all the layups, dunks, unforced turnovers, second shots given up, the things that they can control. Some of the things, Curry shot making, Durant shot making from deep, that's on, the greatness of those two players. But there's some things that they can absolutely take away and must take away to give themselves a competitive chance.
What do you think this means to Mike Brown based on his history with the Cleveland Cavaliers right now? Something like that happening with him.
I think he'll say all the right things, but I think his children and his family members were doing a happy dance last night. You don't forget being let go twice, the second time only after a year coming back. Mike has great pride. He's obviously still on the Cleveland payroll as well. I think they're paying him for a few more years. So I think he would take great delight in winning any championship, but certainly going back and beating his former team, who unceremoniously let him go after just 1 year.
And what are you hearing about Steve Kerr? Because more and more rumors swirling that he might be back in time for Game 2. What are you hearing, Jeff, about that?
I really don't. I guess I'm of the other mindset. I only want Steve to get healthy. When we talk to him before games that we do, it was obvious he was living with pain and discomfort. And I hope if he comes back, that's a sign that he's on the path to better health. Because I know Steve would give all of this success up that his team is having for a chance to be healthy again. And so if he makes it back, I hope it's a sign of there's been great progress in his health.
And a couple more minutes here with Jeff Van Gundy calling in from Oakland or the Bay Area, wherever he may be, after Game 1 of the NBA Finals. The commissioner mentioned how the one-and-done rule in college basketball in the NBA is not working and wants to change that. What are your thoughts on that subject, Jeff?
Well, I can see from the commissioner's standpoint and ownership standpoint that you would want to have the players stay in college as long as they can, so that the owners and the people that work for them have a better chance to evaluate and have more games to consider and evaluate before they draft. This isn't about human development, that the one and done from the commissioners and league standpoint isn't working. This is about trying to help their teams evaluate players the best they can and have a more mature set of players coming in the league. My thought is that the players, if they want to, should be able to come out right out of high school. If they want to try to make a living playing basketball in the NBA, I think they should be allowed to. It's collectively bargained, so the players coming out really have no control. It's about the players who are already in the league that have control. And I think it's an issue that the union would like to see it be where the players could come in right from high school. The commissioner and the league would like to see it probably at least go to 2 years in college before they can come out. And I don't think anybody's going to get what they want.
And, your name came up on my show earlier this week, Jeff, because Major League Baseball had a brawl. I mentioned how baseball should institute a rule that if anybody leaves the dugout, they get suspended. If anybody leaves their position on the field, they get suspended. Just have the pitcher and hitter go at it one-on-one. And I brought up, obviously the Knicks versus the Miami Heat many, many years ago. Do you think that what happened to your Knicks team that year has served as a deterrent for the last 20 years? Because we don't see it very much anymore in the NBA, Jeff.
I think Phoenix got banged with a couple guys taking meaningless steps onto the court in their series against San Antonio a while back. But you're right. There's not many fights in the NBA. To me, the two sports are different. I don't understand baseball where pitchers get to throw at batters for transgressions that they don't have to then bat and get thrown at themselves. You're talking about, to me, an entirely different thing where there's this baseball code that makes zero sense to me, where you're throwing this projectile at 100 miles an hour that could seriously hurt someone. So I don't know what rule should be instituted there. I know the one that we dealt with the Knicks, it was rightly applied in some instances as it regards to Patrick Ewing taking a half step onto the court. It was wrongly done, but there's really no place in any sport other than maybe hockey for fighting.
Do you think you would have won that series if not for that fight at the end of Game 5 in that one, Jeff? Not to hit that way back machine.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Listen, you never know, but you would have liked to have had your chance. Listen, that was my fault that I allowed my first reaction was to go onto the court versus making sure my players didn't come to the aid of Charlie Ward, who had been dumped on his head by P.J. Brown. That was my fault. But, whether we would have won or not, we would have sure liked to have the chance with Ewing and the rest of the guys that we had.
Don't beat yourself up, Jeff. I mean, sometimes you just get caught up in the moment, like, say, when Rihanna walks by the bench while LeBron is dunking a basketball in the finals game, for instance, right?
I'm taking a lot of heat from my friends and family today saying I was gushing. And I was like, yeah, have you ever seen Rihanna walk right by you? I'm giving myself a pass on that. I'm not going to take myself to task on that. Even though it came in the middle of a great LeBron James dunk replay. Mark Jackson's still giving me grief, but listen, I'm giving myself a pass. I don't know about you guys. Hammer away if you want, but
Jeff,
she is strikingly beautiful.
Jeff, how many times have you seen LeBron James furiously dunk a basketball, and how many times have you had Rihanna walk past you? Please, I mean
right.
It's
That's a good point, Rich. I'm glad you're on my side on this.
Oh, if you're cut, do you not bleed, Jeff Van Gundy? Come on, please.
Exactly. LeBron, that was a terrific play, but he'll have a few more of those in this series.
Yes.
That might be the one and only time Rihanna was within like an arm's length of me, and I was just caught off guard. I went to look at the monitor for the replay, but I mean, hey, I plead guilty, but not guilty at the same time.
You get a pass, Jeff. Thanks for taking the time calling in. I always appreciate it.
All right, take care, guys.
You got it. There's Jeff Van Gundy.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you like that, please download our app. There's lots of fun things there other than just more of the videos you just saw. You can call us from the app. You can email us from the app. Just download it. Trust me, you'll enjoy it.